Good evening, Town of Ayer Zoning Board of Appeals, Wednesday, August 19th, 2026, 6 p.m. Hybrid meeting agenda. The meeting hearing of Ayer Zoning Board of Appeals will be held in person at the location provided for in this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation via Zoom is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting or hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. Meeting will be live on Zoom. The public may access the proceedings by joining Zoom meeting ID 978-772-8220 or by calling 929-205-6099. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Samantha Benoit at zba@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 114, prior to the meeting. 6 p.m. will call to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda is posted.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Approval is good. All right, next item on the agenda, board reorganization. All right, do we want to do anything different? We want to change anything?
Yeah, you need a vice chair.
We need a vice chair. I know that, yes. Want to start with my slot? Somebody want to be chair or you want to leave it alone?
And chair of conservation, that's.
It is.
All right, so be it. How about a vice chair? Anybody raise their hand?
Nobody wants it.
Will you now? Okay.
Vice, I'm good at vice.
You're in the vice chair anyway.
Right. Is that the only two slots we need?
Someone needs to nominate her and then you vote to make.
I nominate Jessica Gino as vice chair.
Nice. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Can't nominate myself.
And then
You're an incumbent.
I'm an incumbent.
Yes.
the only other position you guys have is clerk, and that's Ron.
You want to stay clerk, Ron?
Anybody else want? Looks good on you. You want something else? No. Good on you. I nominate Ron for clerk.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations, Ron.
Sorry,
I know it's an honorous response.
I'll now nominate Sam to continue as chair.
Okay. That's the right language.
All in favor, say
We
aye.
all know what it means.
Aye.
Thank you.
I didn't know it was a full reorganization because
Well, What-
that's usually what, the
what-
first meeting of those year or something. they do?
no, it's the first meeting after the election.
Which is what this is.
Yeah, ironically, it is the first one after the election. We haven't met since October. But anyway, what the law says is just reorganize the chair. It doesn't say anything about
So board reorganization.
board reorganization. Yeah, if we choose to, we don't have to. We don't have to do anything.
I thought we had to just address it whether we made any changes or not. once
Yeah.
That's right, and we did.
Sometimes it's replacing, sometimes it's more just reaffirming. That's all.
And just everybody knows, Marilyn is a member. She's not an alternate anymore. She was appointed at the last selectmen's meeting, or one before that. There's one before that. In June? Okay. All right, next item we're done with that. Next item on the agenda, Affordable Housing Committee Forum. Janet, come on down.
Come
Come
on down.
on down.
Come on down. And I'm going to bid, no, not whatever, trying to remember the gang show. Thank you very much. Janet Providakis, 1 Brelania Court in Ayer. I happen to be the chair of the Affordable Housing Committee. With that, I want to introduce, invite you all to our third housing forum. And it will be September 29th upstairs. There will be pizza. Starts at 6. I got to put that in there right at the beginning. Okay. Put down, there's food and there will be some non-alcoholic beverages. Like I say, it's going to be from 6 to 9. What we're going to try to do.
September what?
September 29th. It's a Tuesday night. And this will be our third one. And what we want to try to do is get feedback from the community with regards to the future of air and housing. We will have town experts such as Danny Ruiz, who's going to be up next, I gather, to talk about inclusionary housing, some of the changes that
Who?
have. Danny.
Oh, okay.
The inclusionary housing, those changes that were made to the zoning bylaws. We're also going to talk about the open space and residential development, and how it's concerns for some individuals and how we're moving forward. We do want to talk about some of the successes that have happened with regards to affordable housing. Like, we've got multiple units that are coming up that are going to be affordable. We're going to do the definition of little a versus big A, meaning the big A's are subsidized. This will be your voucher systems and everything else, and it'll have a deed restriction. Then there's the small a of a person who has multiple rooms inside their house, they rent it. They can rent them for whatever they really want to rent them for. Hence why the beginning, like say, of Devon's Crest being $500 a month for rent until Brady Sullivan came in, and then bang, now Devon's Crest Tenants Association took it over with this company called Shockit, and now they're back to being subsidized. So with that, that becomes part of our.
Is the state subsidizing them?
And subsidize some of them. We've got 35, they're planned for 35 different mass state voucher program.
I thought there was only like.
There's
There's
114.
only a dozen.
It's 114 units in total.
Wow.
Right, so those are gonna go on our subsidized. Yeah. Yeah, that will be going on our subsidized housing inventory, which will get us pretty close to the
Numbers.
10.
Yeah.
And that's where we want to be, that or above. With that, like I say, these are some of the successes that we want to go ahead and be able to talk about. Some of the other items is we're going to have Mike Wallace, who is the building inspector. He's going to go and speak about what we're calling the ABCs of ADUs, the accessory dwelling units. I'm not going to, take away from, some of the other items, but DPW, we're going to be talking about infrastructure. Because as soon as people start hearing there's going to be more building, how are we going to handle, the water, the sewer, all that. So see what their plans are and how they plan out 5 years, 10 years. Then right after this meeting, which I'm glad Sam, put me at the beginning, because I'm going to head over to the school board and I'm going to be talking to them with regards to, their numbers. I know that we've been getting, feedback. How's the school system's going to be able to handle an influx of people? See what their plans are. So these will be all types of things that we're going to be presenting. Plus also too, we're going to have some fun and games, maybe a little bit of trivia. It's going to be a good night so that people can learn a little bit more about the town of Ayer and also how we're trying to progress so that, again, the housing market has skyrocketed everywhere. But what we're trying to do is work on a mixture of housing so that you've got a good inventory. Because if you've only got one house and you got 10 people bidding for it, there's going to be a bidding war. But if you've got 10 houses and one person, then it goes the opposite way. So
What do we have for inventory? Do you know?
Ron Morrison will give me that. Yeah, he will. He will. Oh, yeah, no, he will. Yeah. Yeah, we're having a meeting on Friday. So that's one of his tasks because he's on the.
I see a couple vacant apartments, quite a bit. I'm just kind of surprised that they're vacant as long as they've been vacant as long as they are.
It all
But then
depends.
again, it could be price.
It could be price. So I, again, don't know, could be there's, they needed, somewhat of accessibility or whatever. I mean, that's one good thing about the Lincoln Hill project. I mean, a lot of people, believe me, I know. We've got 3 affordable units up there, 2 of the single family houses and 1 side of a duplex. Lincoln Hill is the one over by Neshoba Park, the one that they did all that blasting
Off Groton
off
Harbor
of,
Road.
off of Groton Harvard Road and High Street.
No, I haven't been up, the one behind the old hospital?
No, well, yeah, the old hospital, yeah, Neshoba Park, yeah.
Never been up there. They got-
Well, no, but again, it was the blasting and everything. There's gonna be 34 units there. Again, we've got 2 affordable single-family houses. We're trying for one of those to be handicap accessible, and then we'll have one
They're gonna
side
be
of the.
houses?
They're all single-family houses.
No.
See, come to the forum and you'll be able to find out all this stuff.
I try to avoid the planning board, so I don't hear much.
Okay, that's why he's here. But what I'm also too is some of the feedback that I've gotten from some of the other boards is it would be nice if we do have projects, maybe ask them if they could do something like a community garden, so that it brings people into more of a community, also helps with, greenery and such. We're trying to come up with other, types of ideas, hence why I'm here. So I do appreciate you allowing me to come, but also to give me some of your feedback. If you were going to, some sort of housing forum here in Ayer, what are like some of your concerns? I'm so glad that we're doing a good job that you don't have concerns. I like that.
How close will we to the 10%?
Pretty bad. I think we're at almost 6 something, because we lost a whole batch that were only 15 years. Yeah, so we're at like 6%. One good thing is though, we are safe harbor because we have the housing production plan, which we're going to be redoing and everything. So we're okay, but the better we get to that 10%, the better off we are. Right. Oh, and yeah, that's one of the successes. 95 Fitchburg Road, the Peace Property / NOAA,
195 Pittsburgh Road,
over 10,
That'll do it.
correct. Yeah. Yeah.
You know the status of that?
Right now they're looking for Massachusetts funding, from the state.
I thought they had already got.
They've got some things, but they're going for something else, and it has to be
I
they're
remember
filing.
When they came in here, they had to have it done within a certain amount of time.
Right, but it's been extended because it was COVID. So that got extended.
Got that 27 date now for all the permits and stuff.
Right. Yeah, they're supposed to break.
They had gotten money from the state.
Correct. And they got money from
They
CPA
got-
funds.
Right, they met their requirements for the submissions and they got their money, but I thought there was, they were waiting on purchasing the property.
They already bought the property. They own it.
Yeah, they closed on the property. The last things that they were waiting on were the federal funds that they were waiting on. They finally received them this year. Now they
You got federal funds?
Yeah, they did.
they got federal funds.
Democratic state got federal funds?
I believe it was like 4
So
million.
far.
It was like $4 million, right around there. But they just submitted to myself and to Sam and for town council to review. They have a potential modification that would be coming to the ZBA to review. And that would be most likely in the September.
Mhm.
Wait to hear where it comes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know they just made a presentation to conservation. Poor Jess has had to listen to this statement 3 times already. So,
Yes.
I mean, the housing forum.
Well, I'm just kind of curious of what our inventory was, like I said.
Yeah, like I say, we'll have the numbers, and we're gonna have the numbers too when people start talking about the area medium income. You hear us say that 80%.
Yeah, we take a beating on that though, because of Worcester County.
Oh, we're not Worcester. Yeah, we're Boston.
We're Boston, but.
Right. But again, when you start looking at some of the $15 an hour for being your minimum wage. These are individuals who work downtown that can definitely apply for housing assistance. Because when you start looking at, the breakdown of annual income, they're definitely in the good 50%. They're
Well, how do
below the
you, how do you
workforce.
determine the eligibility? I mean, how do you determine who you're gonna assist?
Well, I mean, that's what the federal government and state do. They look at that dollar amount of,
You guys,
we don't.
you don't what?
No. It's are you talking about the rental assistance program? That's the trust that goes ahead. They also look at income. They look at not only income, but they have to look at the unit that they're going to be assisting, because it has to have 2 egresses. It has to have, no asbestos, no lead. There's a lot of that has to go through that checklist. So it's quite a checklist. And even though they did have 36 applications, again, they ended up giving money, or they will be giving money to 14 families.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is that is a success.
Yeah.
So. Anything else from Ron? Anything? Oh,
I got it
John?
nailed.
Well, we're trying, again, it's more of, I want to make sure that people understand, an accessory dwelling unit. It doesn't have to be a mother-in-law or an in-law apartment. You can build it and rent it out. It doesn't have to be a family member. Things like that, that a lot of people, maybe misunderstand.
And the first too, if you could build it, live in it, and rent out the house. You think?
I believe so. We'll find out from Mike. That's a good question to ask on September 29th when you're there. Pizza. Okay, there will be pepperoni. We're gonna get them from the varieties, pizza
So
parlors.
when we granted permits for ADUs,
By right now, by the state.
right now by the state, do people get informed that when they sell or transfer ownership, that ADU has to go away?
I don't have the answer to that. I'm not the expert, but Mike will be able to answer that. So bring that question on the 29th.
Because I think that's new in these new changes in the law.
Yeah.
That,
I don't know. From when you're saying it has to go away, Danny's coming back, because I know when they sell it, it's part of the sale of the property.
Yeah, well, according to what I read in this new package we got, that changes now and it's non-transferable, the ADU.
So
For 48?
if there is a special permit for a current ADU, it's null and void, so it's not. And now it's
So
just
that's
for the rent.
as of ADUs that are being established going forward.
And anything that has been in the past.
I'm lost.
Because you don't need the special permit anymore. So the old special permits that you had issued in the past are gone.
So
and
why
it's
did
by
they,
right.
why did they change the law to say that they're non-transferable now? If they go away, why are they now saying they're non-transferable?
Can you show me where you saw that?
Yeah, well, we'll get to it when we go through.
Okay,
the-
yeah, because I did not see that change, but maybe I missed it.
Yeah, we'll double check that.
But like I say, come September 29th.
Yeah.
I'll save you a piece of pizza. Tell me what type of pizza do you like?
I don't know if I'll be in town, but we'll see.
Good answer. It
Well,
would be.
I stay up in Maine, so I don't know.
All right, well, thank you for coming back down for this, John, for sure. Anything, Erin?
I don't think I need to go to the storm.
All right, that sounds great. Okay, no, that would be great. Like I say, we try our best to answer, as many questions as we can. And especially, again, with the DPW, a lot of people, what are we gonna do about the water? The water restriction that happens now is state mandated. It's not because, but again, we should be conserving water anyways. All right. Okay, if you have anything, let Sam know. Sam knows how to get in touch with me. Okay, this Sam. Providakis.
Shopping list.
Oh, she doesn't want to do that. It's like, oh, all right. So with that, again, I really do appreciate Sam,
Thank you.
for being able to speak up about it. Okay.
Fair enough.
All
Thank you.
right. Enjoy the day. Thanks. I got to see nice moments.
Danny, come on down.
Sam's actually.
I'm actually taking
You
care of
are?
it.
Okay.
I'm here if there's additional questions.
I thought you were gonna throw rocks or something. She's wrong.
You better not.
All right, so,
Take care.
in the time since all of you have met, chapter 40A has changed. In chapter 40A, if the Mass General laws are what govern a fair portion of the ZBA, in fact, entirely the ZBA.
This is changed at the state level.
This changed at the state level as of July 1st. It's through a House bill. I think it was voted through on like July 8th, retroactive to July 1st. So this is actually everything, how things are to be handled going forward. So the first change, sort of the notice requirements, that's kind of the easiest change. The
What is that?
I have other copies. I had emailed that, but I have the presentations so you all can look at that too. For the most part, notices are the same. The only change is we can now email. Instead of certified mail to the abutters, we can email the abutters, but this only works for special permits. It's not for variances. However, for the email to work, the assessors have had to have collected the email addresses, which they have not done. So this may be more useful in a handful of years, but not currently. The email addresses would have to be certified the same way the mailing address.
Do you think that's a good option for the town to use that option of doing the email thing? I mean, it's not like we're a city with thousands of people and all that.
I don't know, actually.
I'm just thinking that, some people that they don't pay attention to that stuff and then they're gonna be all offended because they didn't get notice and.
I think it's sort of both have their benefits and drawbacks. Lots of people check their email multiple times a day. They should get it. But I also struggle frequently. My town email gets flagged as spam a lot, so a lot of people don't get mine.
Yeah.
There's that. But the same thing for the certified mail. I send all those notices out. I get a lot back of undelivered. For
Well,
whatever
that's okay.
reason.
That's more of a fail-safe program. You know that it happened.
Yeah.
But if you do this thing with the email, and you don't want somebody coming into the meeting after we've made a decision, they come into the next meeting and complain about the last meeting because they weren't notified. And it's not like there's that many people that.
Yes. So I think there's sort of benefits and drawbacks to both. It's kind of a nice to see sort of a modernizing of how we communicate. As it is though, the assessors have not collected emails up until this point, so we
Have
can't
you
even
had
do it
trouble
yet.
with the post office?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
I mailed my registration for an absentee ballot from there to here 6 days.
I had was it a month ago? I had sent something certified to someone. It was for the building department. I got it back as return to sender. I mailed it a year ago. I have
Wow.
no idea where it's been.
Wow.
You should put little trackers on these. See,
This was certified too. I tried to track it. It's weird at some point. No idea. So, as with anything, we do the best we can. So while a nice change, it's not going to affect anything at this time. And it only is for special permits. Variances still need to be mailed.
It just may be substituted. Doesn't mean you have to.
Correct.
Sam, are you gonna try it? I mean, if you have an email.
If they have the emails, they'd have to be certified by the assessors, same way the abutters list is. So I would be willing to try it. I don't expect to have the information for at least a year for a significant amount.
Yeah.
of Willing to try it. I've had mailings in which I've had over 45 abutters, and that's a good project for a day.
Ah.
Not these yet.
The applicants pay for them, but I do them. All right, so sort of another change is for the non-conforming protections. So most of this is still the same as before, but they did add any pre-existing non-conforming structures or residential uses that do not conform to zoning because of lot size or shape, frontage, coverage, floor area, etc., may be extended or altered as of right without the need for a finding by the special permit granting authority. So that would be you guys for most of them. If such extensions or alterations comply with current dimensional regulations regarding height, stories, and setbacks. So it just sort of allows you can build on some more non-conforming lots. that you
Without a
could.
permit or variance.
As long as what you're building is not outside the front.
As long as you still do the setbacks.
Well, this says that
They
the
read that
existing building can be extended.
Not new.
I read this like earlier today. I don't know what was in my mind. This is what was in my mind.
No,
This
no,
was
you're,
weird.
so you're right, Sam.
Yeah.
It's the existing building, it's the increase of that. footprint.
Correct.
Yeah.
Increase in footprint.
Yeah.
But what if, say, an existing building went into a setback there?
Mhm.
Could it go more into a setback?
No, that's where they differentiate because it still has to meet the current zoning.
Yeah.
So it'd be like on the side that, so say that exact scenario, but you're building on the opposite side that does conform, then it's as of right. Yeah. The other scenario would still require, either special permits or a variance depending on
What
the
it is.
scenario.
Probably this is probably more to help with minor things like the decks you guys get on occasion.
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably annoying for everyone to come into the ZBA to have 2 extra feet on a deck. And now they've also extended the protections from zoning changes. So before, and sort of still is, they've just extended it a little. If you have a project in progress and the zoning changes, your project is protected. You don't have to conform to the new zoning because you already started. And this just gives you.
I thought that's been that way all along.
Yes, that's how it has been.
You can't make new rules retroactive.
Correct.
Oh,
But they've extended it so it's from if you're already, like if you apply, never mind in progress, like you applied already.
I thought this says that if you get a permit, instead of you have 1 year to break ground, now you have 2 years to break ground.
That's
That's a different one.
a different section.
But so
I thought that's where we were.
on this one, so like Sam said, the difference now is from when it was issued, like you were saying, it's not from when it was applied. It
Right.
used to be from when the permit was actually issued. Now they're saying it counts towards once it's been applied for. So you could just have applied for it and start the process.
Yeah.
Now you're protected. Where before it was the permit
Had to be issued.
Yeah,
Okay.
you were correct.
So as soon as they draw that application.
It's fine. They're good.
Then they're protected.
Yep.
Can't make changes because it's been sitting on my desk for a week. Which we try not to do, but. And then this is actually the biggest change, and it's going to have the most effect. They have changed variance standards. So before you had, they basically almost removed, I'd say 90% of section 10. As we have been discussing and working with, variances are based off of hardship. And they've sort of lessened their standards a little bit. It's more the strict enforcement of the bylaw would result in a practical difficulty. So if you strictly enforce the bylaw, is this, whatever they want to do, going to be difficult to do?
Complexity?
Yeah, if it's gonna be practical, if it makes it their life hard, maybe because of how the lot is, it's more difficult to build, or it just isn't as strict as it was. Yeah. Mostly. Yes. So, as it is, so currently it's, owing to circumstances relating to the soil condition, shape, topography, what is your hardship? So my lot is shaped weird. I have a giant rock in the way. My slope is strange. I can't build unless I put it here. If you literally enforce it, you're going to create a hardship, whether it's financial or otherwise. Moving my house this way is going to be more expensive. I have to keep it here. You've seen plenty of those. And if you guys relent, if the relief is granted, is it going to cause a problem for the public good? Is it going to take away from the purpose of the bylaw? That's how you've done it. Now you have 4 questions to consider. Is the difficulty this person having based on the soil, the condition, the shape of the land, etc.? Is that why they're having difficulty? Would the strict enforcement impose a financial hardship on the applicant? They're just going with, is the hardship financial? Right? Is the benefit sought by the applicant be achieved by some other method, which I have seen you guys look at before of, well, what if you put it on the left? Is
Right.
that difficult? What if you put it in the back? That's a great way to look at it. And sort of my new favorite is the practical difficulty self-created? Is the reason you're having trouble because you did something? Which I think is a great way to add a good approach. So those are the 4 major, that's how variances are to be done. So it's going to be a little easier for people to get through that first.
Right, because
hardship.
if they can prove that enforcement of the bylaw would result in practical difficulty, then they can have their variance. It's not so strict.
As long as they didn't cause it themselves.
Well, that's true. But they're saying enforcement of
Yes.
the bylaw.
It seems it gives a little privilege to the production of housing.
So it's, to keep in mind if this results in more housing, this request. Not all of them will, but some will. And then, as you had mentioned before, there is a change in duration. Variances up until this point have been valid for a year. You have to act upon them within a year, and you get 1 6-month extension upon request. They changed it. Variances are now good for 2 years. And the extension, you can request an extension for up to a year,
Is that retroactive or is that from this day forward?
July 1 forward.
So whatever's out there right now, still sitting on a 2-year clock or 1-year clock.
Yeah,
On a 1-year
correct.
clock. As it is, you don't have any at this point.
I didn't think we did.
Special permits.
No, we have, yeah, we do.
You have special permits. These
We
are
have
just
special
var-
permits
These are just
that have got a
variances.
clock on them. One of them was a lawn guy and the other one was a
Oh,
hairdresser.
yes, those were imposed by us, but this is different. This is for variances only. If they exchange the time for groundbreaking.
Okay,
That's good.
right,
Exactly.
out there, yeah.
They had a year.
Yep.
Now they have 2 years.
No, we could give an extension up to 2 years.
It's the board's discretion now, how much you guys want to do it.
No, it says up to 1 year.
No, 6 months.
No, it says you up to 2 years.
Yeah, the extension is up to 2 years.
What was 1 year then?
It says 2 years. Well, bill allows zoning board of appeals to grant variance extensions up to 2 years rather than 6 months. Yeah,
That was
We
a
always
typo on
thought
my
they were a
part.
year.
yeah.
That's all we ever talked about.
It is up to 2 years.
It's up to 2 years.
Okay,
I think I wrote it right in the rest of the things.
Yeah, and that's kind of the board's discretion, how
Yeah, you
guys-
could just do 1 year. You could do whatever you wish,
Right.
but you have the option to do it
On the permits.
on the, this is variance.
I didn't think we had an option on variance.
They changed it. So a variance, if say for whatever reason they couldn't break ground, for whatever reason, they can upon written request extend, ask for an extension. Up to this point, you could extend a variance for 6 months. You guys did it for the West Main
West Main
Street
Street.
project. Because they hadn't broken ground for whatever reason. And now instead of 6 months, upon request, you can do 2 years.
Did that die?
Yes.
Very,
Okay, well, I just read it the way it reads. It says the budget bill extends from 1 year to 2 years, the period a variance is valid and excludes the time necessary to pursue other entitlements to construct the project.
What does that mean?
so if you get the variance, but you need to go to other boards or you need other things,
Ah,
that
That
time,
stops the
that
clock?
time,
So-
yeah, that time doesn't count.
So once the clock goes, now instead of 1 year, it's 2.
okay.
And that doesn't count against you because, you're trying to coordinate everybody.
Okay.
The other the other changes are sort of don't really, I just listed them out. They don't really apply to the ZBA. There's the notice requirements that, same as you guys, for zoning amendments, that falls under the planning board. And the other 3 major changes fall under the building commissioner. And the building commissioner doesn't usually kick any of these to you guys anyway, so.
Yeah, zoning freeze is probably the only one that the planning board
Yeah,
and
planning.
the building commissioner would affect on. Because that's that's for special permits, but it could affect with you on any of the special permits that you may issue depending on what it is.
Minimal.
Yeah,
But
Okay.
because special permits, they don't have a time period. For
well,
construction, they do.
we have a
But-
3
but-
year.
in our zoning bylaws.
So special permits must be acted upon within 3 years. But
Right,
you can impose a deadline.
right, okay, but see, it gets very confusing because you have special permits for use, which is completely different from what
Correct.
you're talking.
Yeah, that's correct.
So going right beyond where we were just talking about the extension from 1 year to 2 years, it goes about, I don't know what this really means. Variances for residential uses are authorized pursuant to the amended statute and not require express allowance for zoning. But I don't know which uses they're talking about.
Yeah, so the scenario in that you would see there is if someone, a perfect example. So up on Willow Road, that's all the industrial area. There are residential houses built in that area, but it's not actually zone residential, and residential isn't allowed within industrial areas.
Okay, so they're talking about uses of the building, not commercial uses. Okay. Okay.
So those are the major changes. They'll probably give us more clarity as things go along and everything starts moving. But as it is, because of these changes, we will need to update the rules and procedures on how you handle variances, update the application, because the questions are now different for the applicant.
You did.
Yes, it did. So we have that as well. In that update, I also added the regulations for renewing special permits that you have all issued that have a deadline. First one, you are correct, comes due in December. For the landscape.
Yep.
That's a.
No, you have a couple, that's
Couple
just
of
the first.
We did the cookie brigade out here. We gave them time, and then on Rosewood, the guy that put the lawnmower service in his property, he had a 2-year time.
We also had the lady here, the woman that was a hairdresser. We had clocked her for 2 years.
No, we didn't know it. We turned that down. We didn't give her,
Yeah.
we denied that
What
permit.
about the daycare?
The daycare.
Daycare, was it a daycare?
Okay,
Yeah.
daycare.
I thought it was a hairdresser.
No, the hairdresser.
Because I remember they were whining, they were talking about the traffic.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the
We
daycare.
did not pass that.
Yeah, the hairdresser you turned down.
No, the daycare, Pingree Hill, right.
The daycare was, you guys did approve that, the hairdresser.
Does that have a clock on it?
Yes.
So
Um,
there's three.
Yes, there are three with clocks on them, but because of an act before, any special permits issued within a specific time frame, which was January 1st, 23 to January 1st, 25, all were given in an extra 2 years.
So the
Right.
bottom line is in 27, well, that's when they get to 27.
Yeah,
So
that's
in
true.
27, we have to decide how we're gonna handle their time being up with those permits.
So, and actually, the first one does come due on December 21st, 2026.
Yeah,
Wow,
but
this year.
they're still covered because of the extension till
The
27.
extension, no, the
The
extension. is for
extension
2
runs
years
out.
From the date received it.
So that would be 26.
I thought it
I've been
was,
near that one.
okay.
Thought it was 2 years past the date.
I thought it was from 2 years when they said from the date they initiated it. Anything previous to that was extended for 2 years as of this date. So if they came out and said, we're giving a 2-year extension in July of 25, that means anything, no matter when it was issued, they're good till 27.
It's 2 years from the date it was issued.
Yeah.
So like if it was in early 2023, it got an extra 2 years. So that gets you to 20 to, it was no,
25.
Yeah, it was 2020.
23 to 25.
So that gives you 2 years and then gets.
And
you
as long as it was active. So the landscaper was issued in 22, but because he was active January of 23, and you guys gave him a specific deadline, he got 2 years from that deadline you gave, which happens to be December of 26. And then the cookie people would be May of 27, and the daycare, she made it just under the line because the extension period ends January 1st, 25, and hers was given December 28th of 24.
Wow.
So she gets until December of 28.
Okay, so we're gonna create a document that lists date of issue, who they're to, what they're for, and
Look like that?
Yeah.
and when they expire.
This is the one I.
Looks like that, John?
You did it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I have
Because
it.
we talked about that before and I never saw it.
Yes, so I went through and found them. There's quite a few that the expiration date in a way doesn't apply to, so.
Okay, we're good.
So those are the three, and then we'll keep track as we go forward as they get issued. As you wish to do that, but. So, just a second. So because of these changes, so we do have changes to your rules and procedures. I also made a few other suggestions. Most of the changes are just strictly related to variances. And then in the last section, renewals and extensions. Renewals and extensions, all processed so that people can either renew their special permit or extend a variance. I gave them the same form, they just check which they need. And then one change I did make to the applications beyond the questions on there is only 6 copies of an application. I don't need 13 hard copies.
Yeah, I never understood that.
It's because at one point in time, a hard copy went to every department head, plus 6
Oh.
copies for you guys. Plus, you have to keep one. I don't need 13 copies. I end up just recycling so many duplicates. Especially because there is a requirement to give a digital copy, so that's much easier as well. I still need some hard copies, but. So if you have any questions or concerns or any other changes you would like to make to the rules and procedures,
I
that's fine.
gotta look through that. Did you already do the application?
The application.
You don't use the same application for us and the planning board, do you?
Different requirements.
I don't see any issues.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I don't either. Pretty straightforward, really.
I thought there were some new ones.
It was a new section
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so
on the.
what I couldn't reconcile is where these came from. I mean, they weren't part of the changes to the 40A. Where did these come from?
So this is, because we haven't dealt with renewals in the past. This is a new section on how to handle a special permit being renewed.
Oh, okay.
So that had actually started writing, and then chapter 48 will take care of it all at once. Plus you guys didn't meet, so.
Okay, so we didn't really discuss how we're gonna handle the renewals, right?
If you want to discuss that, we are more than welcome to.
Well, I thought that was
Yeah.
one of the reasons we were here.
So,
Who's putting it in writing?
so the way it would work, there is a separate application for renewals and extensions. The first page is the same as the regular application. That's just, who are you? What are you doing? Where is this?
Okay, so that's what I want to look at because I looked through 40A and they talked about renewing them and they don't have to go through an application process.
So this is just documentation for us and for you. So we can keep track of who is renewing, why are they renewing, have there been any major changes? This is more of an internal thing. It's not necessarily based off of chapter 48. This is more of an internal document.
Okay,
to keep
so
track of.
So this is the 40A stuff here. And it says extension variance permits can be renewed, extended upon the written request of the applicant.
Mhm.
They can be extended for 2 years. Permits can be renewed for a length of time at the discretion of the Board of Renewals. Extensions can be heard determined during an open meeting.
Mhm.
Public hearing is not required. Okay, so yes, you do need to complete a renewal form, right?
You don't have to do legal notices. It's not put in the newspaper. They're not essentially paying for their hearing again. They're coming in going, I'm still doing X. Or you could deny them, I guess.
I like the idea of having an application, because it just makes it, okay, this person comes up.
So you have to notify them like 2 months in advance that that their
Yep.
time is up, and you send them an application if they want to
Yep.
come in and extend it.
And they have 48 hours before the meeting to get this
Yeah.
done.
Yes, technically it's 48, as long as I get it 48 hours before the scheduled meeting, I can put it on the agenda legally and everything's fine. With the encouragement of please get it sooner, but
And so what do you think our main concerns are when they come before us to renew this? We just look to see if there's been any problems with it, any issues, any complaints.
have they outgrown what you originally allowed for? Has that changed significantly? If it has changed, you you could tell them they have to come
The
again.
only ones I can see that we really have to look at with real conditions is the daycare, because they have certain parameters that they have to make sure that they stay within those.
It's more of a, for the ones who do the deadlines, it's almost like a check-in. Are you still doing what? Are you still following everything? Is everything still fine? Have you changed anything significant? Has there been an increase in issues?
It also keeps it in their mind, if I said you have to do an extension, that they have limits.
Yeah.
To their.
And yes, I would just send them a letter going,
Is there a cumulative total of extensions? How many extensions can they have? Is there a limit?
There's no limit.
for variances, there's a limit,
Well,
special.
theoretically, they could just keep getting extensions.
Or you could stop giving them deadlines if they are just, happily continuing on, you don't have to give them a deadline. That's
Explicitly, non-transferable uses in air. Certain uses in air zoning bylaws are strictly tied to individual and never transferable. Accessory apartments, air zoning board explicitly states that an accessory apartment special permit must be discontinued if the property owners transfer ownership of the principal dwelling. The new owner must apply for a brand new special.
Where is?
Yeah, that's under the old special permits. If that was prior to the law being, making ADUs by right.
So this has been taken out of our
It,
town bylaw?
so it, can you show me where in the bylaw that is? So that I know.
I don't know.
Where in the bylaw is that? Under.
What section is it?
Yeah, that's not these arsenal bylaw.
No, but this is just referencing our bylaw.
Yeah, so it may be referencing our zoning bylaw, but if it's not explicitly stated in our zoning bylaw, then it doesn't need to be updated.
Okay, I'll check, see if I.
Yeah, because I'll also look and see if I can find it as well, but
Okay, because it did say that at some point.
yeah, it's very possible that that may have been in the older version of the zoning bylaws prior to the 2018. I'm not sure. But since the law changed last year, I think it was, we revised it at town
Okay.
meeting.
And yeah, for ADUs, there's no special permits anymore, so. You guys won't see them anyway.
Mr. Chair, could I ask a question of Mr. Ruiz?
By all means.
So some of the, special permits got transferred, got moved from zoning board to planning board. 2 years ago.
I think only one,
Well,
maybe one, maybe the multifamily.
No, I think there was more than that. They pulled a lot of it away from us.
So I know the duplex.
It was the two.
The duplex was made by right, which also under this new law, that also does that too. It makes it by right in any residential zone. So yes, I think that was, but it was removed from being special permit. It was made by right.
I was just curious if planning board is getting any applications
For
for special permits.
the only one I know of is under the multifamily. We have.
This is just a real downturn. Permit applications in general.
Yeah, the only one I think we received was for the multifamily. That's the only one that we did change that was from the zoning board that went to the planning board. And that's the Old Town Village, the one that's currently before us right now.
I thought they took a lot more.
But if those became by right, then it took it away from the planning board as well. right?
Planning, I thought, I remember conversations we were having about what the planning board was issuing special permits now that they took it from us and they're doing it.
I think that was the multi-housing, because you
Yeah,
said,
just the
you
multi-housing.
still haven't spoken at the town meeting about that.
Yeah, I think that was.
It was the multifamily. Because
I think it was just once.
it was in just one zone. It was the general business zone.
Because it didn't match.
That's the only special permits that they have the authority to issue?
No, that got changed. The other changes at that meeting were the duplexes, and then there was one under the form-based code as well. So those were the 4 changes that occurred. The duplexes became by right, so the planning board didn't take those.
Right.
The multifamily was turned into the planning board under the general business because it was already the special permits were already the planning board in the other zones. So I think that was just more of a clarification to clean up the zoning table. And then the West Air Village there was some modifications that we made some changes on the form-based code.
But form-based code always went to the planning board anyway.
Yes, yeah. Typically, special permits for residential is usually planning board, and then zoning board usually handles like commercial, retail, that kind of stuff, because that's more the zoning board appeals area.
Right, you guys have the home occupations.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about the renewals and the extensions? Or any of the other changes to rules?
Nope.
Because if you're okay with them, then you would just need to vote. If you accept the changes, I will.
I make a motion, we accept the changes as presented.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
And did you have any?
So the other question I had was, since they,
Finished it.
what? Oh, I'm not saying we have to change it. I just had a question. Because they made it a little less stringent on the variances. Is there any need to look at what to consider in a variance to accommodate those changes?
I will update that, the next time you guys have a variance, but I will just replace the questions. So it is still hard to do, it's just not quite as hard.
Okay, I just,
And they just changed the question.
something that came to my mind.
And then if you are dissatisfied with how the applications look,
I think it looked good.
and then changed it, so. 6 copies, which will be nice. We've changed the questions for variances, and then we have a renewal application. If you're accepting of those, you could vote to approve those. I will have them all updated and put on the website.
So we did.
That was the rules.
Oh,
Motion to approve
The amended applications as discussed.
second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nice job.
Thank you. Great.
While we're on the subject, have we heard anything about 40B?
Yes, so sort of the 40B, which is the Air Commons NOAA project on Fitchburg Road. They're the ones who just submitted some paperwork that town council needs to look at, and they'll probably come before you guys again. They've had some modifications.
They just started at our last meeting coming for conservation for earth conditions.
Because of the water out behind them? Was that what it was?
So they have a few little areas
Yeah.
that are in our buffer zone. But
Yes.
they've, at the moment, still relocated the sewer line from crossing an intermittent stream and going up to Isaac Lane.
That's right.
It's now supposed to come down Fitchburg Road.
Yeah.
Because, grants, so
Sounds
we're
good.
Sewer, put in a sewer line.
Yeah, because
probably-
that's right. They were gonna run it through that stream to the tie-in.
Yeah, that was gonna have conservation issues.
Okay.
The only
So
problem with their application was they said that the town had already done that. It hasn't done yet.
Yeah, yeah, no, that has not been done yet. We just have the initial grant.
What are they looking for change, you know?
They've just made some changes to the layout, the buildings, some of the structure.
Yeah,
We're
so,
getting some
um,
information,
yeah,
more information on exactly what the changes are, what that's gonna look like, what does
That's
that
not gonna
mean?
trigger another.
that's what we're trying to
That's what we're gonna.
figure out. So we've had a couple of meetings with them over the last couple of
Same,
months.
same group, right?
Yeah, it's the
Yes,
same group.
same people.
They just have a new project manager. So I didn't work with the previous one. I know Sam may have worked with them. Yeah. It's
Peace properties now.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a new name, but it's the same thing.
yeah. And so now Tanya, who's now the lead project manager, she had met with us 3 times now, give or
Yeah,
take.
something like that.
Started early in earlier in the year. We had a couple meetings just to kind of initially see what they were proposing. Last meeting, they kind of showed us more in depth, basically what they had done. Some of the changes were they consolidated some of the buildings, so they have less buildings now. So the ones that were up front, there were like 5 different
There was,
buildings.
yeah,
So
front,
now
back, and then the
then there was
center over on the left.
exactly, and there was like a community building in the center.
Yeah.
So what they did was they combined the community center with the center building to make one large building, and then they combined one of the garden style units that were up front and put some of those units in each of the buildings. So now there's less buildings up front. Excuse me, up front.
Yeah.
Same number of units. So, to me, my opinion would be it's a minor modification because you're not expanding your footprint, you're not increasing impervious, you're not doing that. But it's all of this gets sent to town council and they'll give us an opinion on it, and that'll come to you where the board will make the final determination at that point.
You will decide if it's major or minor. If it's major, then they will have to come back.
Our understanding was they need our permit from conservation.
Sooner rather than later, because they're starting more of the funding process and they need that in place this fall.
Yeah, there's a deadline with the EOHLC of September 25th or 6th, something like that they're going to be making a submission. That's why they're looking to try to get ahead of it. September, yeah.
So
Keep getting August.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're fine. So.
So they'll be in front of your board
They were and.
already.
Yeah, last,
Previous meeting, and then we have a sidewalk on August.
Mhm.
And then we could probably mostly wrap it up on by the next meeting.
they couldn't get things marked out for us to do a site walk last weekend, so.
Seems to me there's quite a bit of timber over there yet.
Yeah, they just need to mark out a few, 50-foot.
And there's an endangered plant in there. And they're actually designed it so they've got like a 70-foot clearance away from that. So they're doing a nice job in preserving. So
Oh, good, good.
PSC group, they do a good job.
Nice. No, what? Where it is? No, please.
All right, any changes to phasing? Wasn't this supposed to be,
2-phase.
Phasing's the same.
the phasing is this?
Yeah.
They
So
do the
they're
front
only-
section first and
Yeah,
then the back
we're only
section
discussing
second.
Phase 1, phase 2,
Right.
hasn't changed. It's later.
Anything, does it state any timetable for that?
No.
For phase 2.
Yeah.
So they said phase 1 would most likely be 2 years of construction to finish, and then they'd come back for phase 2. They haven't done the cost engineering that they did for phase 1 to phase 2 yet. So there's potentially they could be coming back again at years in advance, to you for another minor modification, but we don't know yet.
That part's not on their radar too much, so.
Anything else?
I make a motion to accept the minutes of October
2025, John.
15, 25. All right. Can't go without.
Yes.
What?
Just as our.
The only thing I changed on page 2 where the third one, our Caraccio explained it would be more expensive to build on the right side and would involve extending the driveway and gas lines. it would also involve relocating the utilities.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. Third line.
Maybe extending would have been easy, but having to relocate, that would have been huge. So.
Pardon?
But I can make that change.
Right. Upcoming meetings.
I need it.
I thought you had a,
We didn't vote.
I know that.
You can vote them in as amended.
Okay. I thought we had to wait till you amended them. All right. Make a motion, we accept the minutes as amended. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Now, upcoming meetings.
I can. Actually, that should be, well, I gotta get.
Microphone here.
Yeah. So upcoming meetings, we will have a September meeting. I did receive an application. So you will see a special permit next month for a home occupation.
Okay.
I'll send those out. He gave me the final yesterday, so I send them out yet.
I may need to be retrained.
And then as discussed, the 40B will close.
In September as well? Okay.
Most likely. And
What's the date?
September.
16.
Not good.
Not good for me. Most of the time I'm
It's a
here.
special permit, we need 4 votes, right?
5.
September what? 16th? We're safe. We get back on the 10th. You won't be here? No. We can do it with 4.
Yeah, you can do
Jess,
it.
you gotta find us another alternate.
Yeah.
Oh, Maryland.
Oh, it's Marilyn's turn.
Yeah, so, yeah, as long as there's 4 of you here, we can hold the meeting. They'll just have to get a unanimous vote. So, it's a, it's a special permit. I'll send out all the information either tomorrow or early next week. And then just so you all know, prior to the meeting in September, I will be away for a few days at the end of August and early September. So if I don't answer, that's why.
How dare you?
Yeah. Great. And that's all I have. I don't have any, if you have any items you'd like to discuss at next meeting, let me know.
Okay.
Add to the agenda.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Welcome aboard, Marilyn.
Thank you.